Haswell's a little bitch. He's intolerable. One, he can't write to save his life. I mean, that was a normality back then, but all he does is he complains, and he's probably making up half the stuff about Kendrick. Specifically, it's like, oh yeah, he let me get off the ship. He let me leave. I can just go because I wanna, despite the fact that there was like a huge search party out to get him. And nah, he's intolerable.
So, would you have kept him or left him?
I probably would have left him, because I mean, definitely in the journals, he's not specifically, or there's nothing that I've read, he's been specifically saying like, oh, I'm an essential member of the crew because I He just, I just ditched him.
Well, as we've all alluded to about Haswell being kind of a wussy and just a pain in the neck, yeah, Kendrick should have. Well, I shouldn't say Kendrick should have gotten rid of him, because then things would be different. But
it's true. He wrote the log.
We wouldn't have anything after this. We wouldn't know what to do after this. But it was cool to see that little cave. And it wasn't like this at all when he was here. It was very high grass and tough to walk through. So what took us, in theory, a little over an hour and a half to get to one spot, took him close to 3 hours or 4 hours.
I would have wanted to slap Haswell across the face if I was the captain, or flogged him at least. And it really puts things in perspective. Part of me wishes that if I was Kendrick, I would have just left him here, and I think that would have been a really great ending. Maybe to demise, we could have found his journal in the cave with a skeleton. But he was a good seaman.
You know, there are really two parts to this story. One is, first half is the conflict between Haswell and Kendrick on board the ship before they even got here. They crossed the equator and things started to go really haywire. And that's hard to be able to capture because it's on board ship. And so you just have to go by his words and then an interpretation of what was possibly happening at the time. That's kind of tough. But then we're able to bring it here, and again, he's having its personal interaction. It's not, the sailing directions are not important. The weather conditions are not necessarily important. It's more than any other, it's the Haswell show for this particular episode. It's his misadventures, first on board ship and getting clearly demoted, and then coming here, jumping ship, and trying to get off. We're able to follow his story as close as we possibly could in any location, to be able to go to these spots that he walked and then go to Brett's Harbor and see that and be able to find out some local knowledge. I think we were able to accomplish a great deal in such a remote and challenging location. So I'm really happy with that, and you know, being fully invested in this story in this location, it gives me a lot more ideas to be able to think about what may have been going through his head, Kendrick's head, any of our heroes in this story.